everybody. So we have our data update for 2019. This will be through January 1st through May 31st, what we have collected in our SIMS database. This is county-wide data for us. So our types of incidents, so far we've had 601 incidents entered into SIMS. That's our overdoses, fatal, non-fatal, plus our at-risk individuals. And 51 or 9% of those were fatal overdoses, 79% or 477 were non-fatal, and we've had 73 or 12%, our 12% are at-risk individuals, and that's a 16% decrease over the total from 2018 for that same time frame. So we are continuing to see that decrease, which is fantastic to see. We're going to look at some trends here now. So fatal incident trends. This is our monthly for 2019. We've had on average 10.2 fatal overdoses per month, and that's a 27% decrease over the same time frame. The monthly average in 2018 was 14 over that same time frame. So really significant numbers there for your fatal decrease. Our non-fatal, we have 95.4 non-fatal overdoses in the county in the first 5 months of 2019, and that's a 20% decrease over our 2018 numbers. So again, a very significant decrease for your non-fatal overdose incidents as well in 2019. We've added an at-risk trend because we think the at-risk information is very important to capture. So those are those people that have not yet overdosed, but someone is concerned, a family, friend, police officer, probation officer, that an overdose may be imminent. So they'll refer that person to the program, and our data designees enter them as an at-risk individual, which will trigger that home visit and that follow-up outreach. And these numbers we want to see, we're happy to see these going up, and you'll see our 2019 red trend line is above our 2017 and our 2018 lines. On average, we have 14.6 at-risk individuals being referred right now into the program in 2019, and that's a 55% increase over 2018. So that's an awesome thing to see. Sometimes increases seem like a bad thing, but in this case, it's a very, very good thing because more people are being referred, more outreach visits are being done to those people that haven't yet overdosed but are certainly at risk for that. Our multi-jurisdictional chart here is showing those that overdose in a place where they don't live. So one of the unique aspects of the program here is that it is a multi-jurisdictional program. So looking at just those overdose incidents, so we had 528 overdose incidents alone, 75% of those, the person overdosed where they lived. So it is a single jurisdiction event. But in 25% of those, or 130, it was a multi-jurisdictional event. So the person overdosed in a different town from where they lived, and that town may not ever have known about that overdose if not for the program, Plymouth County Outreach, and that notification that goes out, because then the resident town is the town that takes over and conducts that follow-up and gets resources to that individual. We look at Naloxone Saves. So again, just looking at our 528 overdose incidents, naloxone was administered in 62% of those, or 328, and 94% of those, the person survived. So that's what we consider a naloxone save, meaning someone survived after naloxone was administered, while unfortunately 6% or 19 of those still resulted in a fatality. Moving on to looking at our follow-up information. So we have 376 attempted follow-up home visits so far in 2019. 63% are successful in reaching someone, and that is really just a tremendous accomplishment. It's a very, very high percentage for an outreach program, and that's contact with the person that overdosed, a family and friend, or both the person that overdosed and a family or friend. So 36% of those successful follow-ups, so we had 238 that were successful in reaching someone. 36% of those, the outreach team spoke with the person that overdosed themselves. 50% of them, they spoke with a family or friend that was home at the time when they visited the home. And in 14%, or 34 instances, they spoke with both the person that overdosed and their family or friend that was home as well. So our successful outcomes, so these are those outreach visits that you actually spoke to the person that overdosed. So we had 119 of those where you spoke to the person. 58% or 69, the individual, the outreach team reported that they accepted treatment. So whatever that is in the definition of that outreach team, they felt that the person was receptive and accepted the treatment that or the resources that they were offering. 18% or 21 declined the treatment options, said, no thank you, they weren't ready at that time. And 19% or 23 of the individuals were already seeking treatment. So when the outreach team got there, the person indicated that they had already reached out and found resources on their own. We do have 5%, 6 that the follow-ups did not have a response measured in the system, and that's the last thing I want to just bring up for our data designees that are in the room or our outreach officers. There's still a few incidents, as we just saw, those 6, where all of the outcomes, accepted, seeking, or declined, are all checked as no in the database. And we would just like to clean that up a little bit. So if you could let Vicki or myself or Sean know what other option is there besides accepted, seeking, or declined that we could add to that database so we have a response for all visits. This is really critical outcome data that everybody is asking for, everybody wants to know, so we want to make that as clean as possible. So we don't know if we're missing something as an option, that there's some other option that could be a result of those outreach visits that we need to add to the database, or it might just simply be an entry error, which is absolutely going to happen. So if you have any other ideas for us, I know we don't have time now to discuss, but email me, kelleyra@comcast.net, Sean Verano at Gmail, or let Vicki know, and we're happy to make changes to the database. So these are only if you have contact. So contact with SUD is checked as yes, and then all the outcome measures are still checked as no. So these are all those that there definitely was a contact with SUD indicated in a database. So again, it could be error.